Welcome to Raco Interiors Shield Innovations Type B window installation video. In this video we will be showing you how to install a Shield Innovations Type B window. We will showing you using the standard screw race install. We have 4 standard Type B windows, and B1, and B2, and B3 or and B4 type window. The corner and horizontal mullion installation is the same for all 4 types of windows. The B2 and B3 windows have horizontal mullions, and the B2 and B4 have a vertical mullion. Vertical mullions are always installed using clips. Raco recommends that installers should watch our helpful hints videos on how to install clips and how to install trim. These videos are available on our website under the Technical Section tab and Install Videos tab. The tools needed to install a Shield Innovations window are a variable speed screw gun, a block of wood, a shot-filled rubber mallet, a number 2 square drive screw bit, a number 2 Phillips screw bit, a level, a tape measure, a pencil, a chop saw with a non-ferrous metal cutting blade and a ladder. Raco recommends installing the windows with 2 people due to the size of the windows. Your box will come with a hardware pack that consists of a copy of the installation instructions and 2 different types of screws. On the B2, B3 and B4 units, you will also have some RA107 clips. The ST351 square drive screws are used to assemble the window through the screw race. The RA107 flat clips are used to install the vertical mullions. The RA108 clips shown in the video are not used on Type B windows. The ST137 small screws are used to install the clips, if needed, and also to screw mullions together through each of the sides. The number of screws and clips received will vary depending on which type of unit you will be installing. Remove all parts and position them on the floor as the window will be assembled. Check and make sure you have all parts needed before proceeding with the window installation. The bottom of the window consists of an RRO20 sill can, an RN150 base, and an RN151 glass stop. The verticals consist of an RR144 90-degree glass jamb post and an RR145 90-degree flat post. The header consists of an RN152 glass jamb for B1 or B2 units or an RN103 cased opening for B4 units. The B1, B2 and B3 units also have an RN107 flat insert at the head as well. If you have vertical or horizontal mullions, lay them out as well as the trim for both the verticals and horizontals. Note that the vertical RR144 members have 4 holes punched on one end, which go to the bottom of the window. There are 2 holes punched on the other end, which go to the header of the window. If you have a horizontal mullion, then you may have holes punched in the center of the RR144, but only if Raco was given the location for the horizontal mullion. If you are installing a horizontal mullion in the field, at field-determined locations, then you will need to drill the holes in the verticals in the field and screw race your mullion together just like the header and base. The first assembly step is to cut the verticals to length. Note, you will cut the end with the 2 holes punched on it. To determine the cut size, first determine the location for the window. Take multiple measurements for the window from both sides and in the middle. If floor deflection is more than 1/4 inch, then you may have to install with shims under the base or install the base at an angle. The cut size for the verticals will be the overall length measured from floor to ceiling or fur down, -1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, to allow room for moving the window into place after assembly. Once you make the cut, save the drop-off with the 2 holes in it to use as a drill guide to drill new holes in the top of the piece you just cut. To do this, place the cut-off piece face-to-face with the new cut-sized piece. Align the tops of both pieces and the sides and drill new holes in your cut piece using the existing 2 holes in the cut-off piece as a drill guide. Pilot drill through each hole, remove the cut-off piece, and finish drilling your new installation holes in your finished piece. Note that while you can cut the bottom of a vertical and re-drill the 4 holes in the bottom, if you have horizontal mullions that have been pre-drilled for the location, cutting the bottom will change the size of the bottom window and the location of the horizontal mullion from the floor, which is not desirable in the Shield Innovation windows. If you are cutting the window down in width, then determine your overall width of window needed and cut horizontals to the desired size. The cut size for all horizontals is the daylight opening size of the window. Now you are ready to assemble your window with the screw race screws. You can place both verticals on sawhorses or assemble the window standing upright. The 2-hole punched end should be at the top of the window. First install the flat insert at the head by screwing it to the verticals through the 2 holes at the top of each vertical as shown. The flat side goes to the top of the window. Using two of the ST351 screws, assemble the header at each end, using your screw gun with the number 2 square drive tip. If you have pre-punched holes for any horizontals, then you can also attach those at this time using two of the ST351 screws to attach at each side. Note on the B2 unit you have an RN161 horizontal mullion with glass above and below the mullion. There are two removable RN151 glass stops that get attached to the top of the RN161 mullion base. You can pre-install one of them if you want to at this time or leave them off for install after fully assembling the window. One of the glass stops should be left off for the glazer to install after the glass. On a B3 unit you have a horizontal mullion that has a glass pocket at the bottom and a flat insert at the top of the mullion for airflow. You will install this horizontal using the screw race holes in the RN152 glass jamb member. Make sure the glass pocket faces the bottom of the window. Once the RN152 member is screwed to the verticals, you can now install the RN107 flat insert into the top of the RN152 and screw off on the sides using the ST137 small screws. After installing your horizontals, you are now ready to install the RN151 base to the verticals using two of the ST351 screw race screws at each side. Note on the base you will use only two screws in opposite corners to assemble each side. Once screwed together, you can now install your RRO20 sill can into the bottom of the RN150 base. Using the ST137 screw, screw through the sides of the base into the sill can to hold in place. Now you are ready to stand the unit up, if not already assembled that way. You can now install the RR145 flat corner pieces to the RR144 verticals. The cut size for the RR145 is the same as the RR144 already installed on the window. Once done, you can slide the window into your desired final location. Once in place and plumb, level and squared up, if you are attaching your vertical to the wall, then do this before attaching the unit at the head and base. You do not have to attach to the wall as the unit can be installed with attachment at the head and base only. If you do want to attach the vertical to the wall, then pre-drill 1/2 holes in the glass pocket, and using an extended Phillips drive tip, run a screw through your pre-drilled holes and into the RR145 and the wall. Do this in all locations desired. You can now screw the header through the RR107 starter can and into your ceiling grid or fur down with screws supplied by others. Note, if attaching to ceiling grid, you do not have to screw into the grid if the unit is to be demountable. See our recommended attachment to grid at the end of this video. You can attach the unit at the floor through the pre-drilled or pre-punched holes in the base. Using tap-cons, drill your hole through the sill can into the floor and install the tap-con screws. Now you can install your RN152 header for B1 and B2 units, or the RN103 header for the B4 units, to your flat insert at the head. Throw the product over the flat insert and screw to the flat insert through the sides with the supplied ST137 screws. You can also lay the RN151 glass snap into the base for attachment after installing the glass. If you have an A3 or A4 elevation that has airflow over the top of the horizontal mullion or top of the glass, you will need to cut and install a piece of glass filler called a P-050. This piece snaps into the vertical glass pocket to create a cased opening look and finish out your airflow window. If you have vertical mullions, you can now assemble them and install into your opening with the clips provided. The mullion is made up from an RN152 glass jamb and an RN154 glazing insert. Assemble them together and screw off from the sides. Make sure one end is flush with each piece. Note the mullion will have a deep glass pocket and a shallow glass pocket. If you have more than one vertical mullion, then ensure you keep a deep pocket facing a shallow pocket, never shallow to shallow facing glass pockets. This could affect how the glass will install. You will have a small 1.5-inch piece of RN150 glass stop in your kit. Snap the provided small glass stop onto the base and measure from top of the glass stop to the bottom of your header or horizontal mullion, and cut the assembled vertical mullion to this size. Make sure the installed small glass stop is in the correct location side to side. Install the mullion on top of this glass stop and under the header. Level the mullion and using the flat clips provided with the small ST137 screws, install the clips as shown to the vertical mullion and the base or horizontal at the head. Note, holding back the clip 1/16 of an inch from the trim snap leg will help make your trim go on easier and not require the inside leg of the trim to have to be notched at this location. Repeat at the top and bottom of the vertical mullion and on both sides. If installing to ceiling grid, you can use washer head screws like the ones in our video to screw down from the top into the starter can, and use the washer head to clamp the ceiling grid to the top of the window. Screw on both sides of the grid where available. This way you do not damage or leave any holes in the ceiling grid if the window is ever relocated. Make sure all mullions are screwed together, and now you can cut and install your trim. You will start with the horizontal trims first. Cut and install tight to the vertical posts. Next, install any vertical trims. Note, for trim notching tips, go to Raco Interiors website and watch the trim notching helpful hints video. Thank you.